Hi there, Chris the Geek figure fan here. And we finally made it to the end of the first lot of retail exclusive figures that came out in conjunction with Wave 1, or around the same time as Wave 1. And we're looking today at Kazim. So this guy's from The Last Crusade, and he starts off as a bit of a foe turned ally in the film, and he's a member of the Brotherhood of the Cruciform Sword, who are sworn to protect the Grail and effectively prevent anyone from following the clues, finding the Grail markers, and seeking out the Grail. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this figure. I've been reasonably excited about opening him, actually. I think mainly I've got a bit of excitement for just having a different figure. So similarly to how I felt when I opened Donovan's box up. You know, the other retail exclusives have all been versions of Indie, which I don't have a problem with. I've loved the versions that we've got. The Map Room Indie and the Club Obi-Wan Indie especially are awesome. But yeah, I'm really excited about actually getting a new figure. So we'll start by having a look at the box. And I've said it before, but these boxes are just so good to look at. Hasbro really have gone all out with the artwork on these boxes. Again, the sepia tones, the faint outline of mapping on them, and the artist's impression on that one side, so that when these boxes are stood side by side, it just looks fantastic. It looks like it's ripped straight out of a poster. You got the 3D photorealistic renderings on the front and back as well, and another picture that effectively lists the accessories that come with it. And as you can see from that, there's no real bells and whistles with this. We've got 3 accessories to look at. So let's get him out of the box. Let's get him into a couple of poses and see what we think of Kazim. I have to say, first impressions, I love this figure. I think, oddly, it's one of my favourites already. I'll talk a little bit about articulation, but I think as you can see from this figure, there's no real limitations to articulation on here. You know, the wing movement on the shoulders, the standard elbow movements on here and the head. The hip movement is good. There's movement in the thighs, in the knees, in the ankles. They're all excellent. So there's no real restrictions to how you can pose this figure. And I love that about it. God damn, that paint on that suit is immaculate. It's so detailed. The pinstripes on the suit are so detailed. There's no blurring to it whatsoever. Really crisp lines on this suit, especially when you get the movable segments of the legs lined up so that the pinstripe follows all the way down. It's so cool. And the gold looking tie on it, and you can almost see like a shine to the shirt. Really nice effect. Yeah, I'm so impressed. Really impressed with the shoes as well. A nice carnation on his suit as well. It looks like exactly the same piece that was on the Club Obi-Wan Indie. But it works, you know, it tracks from the film. But let's talk about this head sculpt. It's gorgeous. Considering I found the Adventure Series head sculpts a little hit and miss. And I think generally that's just not a criticism, but it's just a general finding that you have with Hasbro 6-inch figures. And I suppose any figures of this size, is that head sculpts are not always going to be perfect. You're working at such a scale that sometimes smaller details can go missing. But, you know, the almost gaunt look of his thin face and the creases around his mouth, his moustache, the eyebrows and the eyes, they all look fantastic. And the hair looks great. The fez, perfect. You know, it sits perfectly there. You know, it's not a removable piece, but it looks great. I'm so impressed. And the accessories, let's move on to the accessories, because these have got so much durability to be used with any number of figures and probably any number of ranges, really. But when I think of Kazim, I do think of these 2 larger weapons, so the rifle and the machine gun, really. They both sit well in hand. It just gives so many different posability options with this figure that I haven't seen from all of the figures that we've got. Some have had some really fantastic accessories. The accessories have not been amazing, but now I love the weapons that come with Kazim. They all suit the purpose that he has in the movie really well. I'm just so impressed with it. And I'm glad that they went for the pinstripe suit and not for the sort of white draped one-piece gown that he has on towards the end of the movie. I think this is a far more striking figure, and by virtue of that, a far more striking silhouette as well. But I don't think there's a massive amount to say about this figure. I don't really have any complaints, and I'm so pleased with that because I love this range. And I'm so excited. My Wave 2 figures have started arriving, so I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into those as well, in and around some other Black Series figures that I've got to release as well. So yeah, this brings a really satisfying conclusion to the Wave 1 retail exclusives that we've had. So pleased. Just really impressed with the likeness on the face and the likeness of the suit as well. Like I say, the suit is the winner here. It's the MVP of this figure. So you'll have to let me know what availability is like in your area for this figure. I know that there have been some difficulties getting hold of Map Room Indie and Professor Indie, so I don't know if the same can be said for this one. I think out of all of the retail exclusives, this and Donovan have been the ones that I've seen the most. So I'd be interested to see what that's like in other areas. I mean, if you do have this, what do you think of it? Are you the same as me, or has this left you wanting? I don't really know. I don't know what the general view of this is. I've not seen a great deal of reviews of this figure, so I don't know what the consensus is at the minute. But I love it. Really pleased. One of my favourites. So if you've enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you could hit the like button, and please consider subscribing for more news and reviews. As I've said, Wave 2 is coming in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for that. I'm really looking forward to at least most of the figures in that. I'm so excited about seeing this build and artifact as well. Thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed so far. I'm now over 300 subscribers, and to be honest, I never really thought that I would get that far. So thank you. Anyway, I'll wrap this up. Love this figure. Get it if you can, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.